Where great cigars meet great conversations. This is Poppa Peace Podcast.
Hey, welcome to Poppa Peace Podcast. I'm Scott Poppa P. Partridge. Del Hickman to my left, probably your right. And he's kind of my partner in crime here. And as always, behind the scenes is Miss Emmy, who keeps us on time and keeps us in line. And we kind of wanted to do a show today just to kind of, we literally recently hit the 2-year mark.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Hard to believe.
Yeah.
Of doing this, and we thought it'd be cool to just kind of talk about what the first 2 years have been like, and the ups and the downs, and the
every day's
a new learning adventure. And what you smoking on today?
Today I have the Opus X. I think it's called Perfection number 5. It's the Petite Corona.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Well, I'm smoking a smaller cigar too. This is Dale refers to them as dog walkers.
Yeah.
But this is a CLE. It's a Honduran. This is the Habano. It's a little 4x40, and it's a great little stick. So, and I'm going back to today Ron Zacapa rum, which is one of my favorites. So.
Well, goodness, I'm finishing up, and I didn't reload for the episode, but this is a little larceny.
Yes. Well, we talked about it, and I think one of our first episodes. This was quite a venture getting into what we're doing here at Poppa Peace Smoke Shop and Lounge. We had a background in cigar retail sales, and but we were venturing into kind of unknown territory with some stuff with a full bar and big lounge like this, and
we're trying to create an experience, and we didn't really have any experience.
No. In the early stages, we called on help to pick brains of people that did have experience,
right?
We had a whole lot of hands involved early on, which we needed to get this thing off the ground. And
researching. We had the retail part. Well, you had the retail part down pat, but we had to research how do we integrate, or can you integrate the point of sale for a bar?
Right.
And we were like, I don't know about how.
Yeah. And so there's so many learning things. Like even that. We learned that, yes, there are some systems where you could use the same system on the retail side as you can on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
But in really researching it, we learned that there's systems that are absolutely great for retail, that inventory management, reports. Those systems aren't necessarily as user-friendly and
match up for bar point of sale,
and food
and inventory, and so those are it wasn't a steep learning curve, but we were starting at ground zero.
We were, and fortunately it all worked out, and in the early stages, like especially learning the bar side of the industry. Now fortunately, you're one of the owners of our sister or big brother business, Cool Springs Wines and Spirits. So we had people within that industry that we could call on to say, hey, how do we do this, or what are your recommendations? But it's all been basically a trial and error thing right from the start.
Well, the one fun story was we were meeting with a couple of ladies who had run bars for their career, and we thought we had this great idea. And in our early design, we had on the beer side, we had like 8 taps on our bar. And we were meeting with the ladies, and they were like, "You don't want to do that." Yes. And I think Scott and Brett and I were like, "What do you mean? That's cool. We're about draft beer." He goes, "No, you don't." And we quickly learned. Then our setup is relatively small. Hopefully, everyone would think it's pretty nice, but we can have a better selection and have fresher beer.
Yes.
If we were to have 10 to 15 beers in refrigerators instead of 8 or so on taps.
Yeah.
And we're like, really? And we had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, and virtually everybody that has a lot of history and experience in the industry told us if you can get away without doing draft beer, you're smart to do it.
Right.
And now, 2 years later, we look back and we understand why. And do we still have occasional person come in and say, what do you got on tap? Absolutely. But we've never ever had anybody, we haven't got any big backlash off the fact that we just sell bottled or canned beers.
I've got a store we can guarantee no skanky beer.
That's right.
Nothing sitting in the lines.
Yeah.
Another thing that in the early days when we hired our first set of 3 bartenders.
I remember well.
And we were sitting up in the conference room at Cool Springs Wine and Spirits, and we made the decision that great people, we loved them, we clicked with the first group and made a decision on who to hire. And as they left, and Scott and Brett, I came from an industry of being exposed to people and hiring and all those kind of things. And I said, okay, guys, we have to realize that somewhere between 1 and all 3 of these aren't going to be with us in 6 months.
That's right.
And it's not a negative to those individuals. It's just a fact of industry and labor.
Yep.
And sure enough, by that summer, we were looking for 2 bartenders.
Yep.
And for good reason. I mean, personal decisions. But it
and
was
just the right fit for what we're doing here.
Right.
The opposite point to that, one of them, which a lot of you that have been in here a lot remember James.
Right.
James was with us over a year. Fantastic bartender, and he would still be with us today, but
the family opportunity.
Family opportunity came for him to move to Texas, and but learning, geez, we had one steady bartender for over a year, and
the probably the best thing and that I've learned and we've witnessed in having the lounge component added to a successful retail cigar business is the beauty of the conversation. And as you hopefully hear that come up a lot in our podcast, is just that there's a connection point that cigars bring people together as we talk.
Yep. But even at it, it's a progression, and like with any business, we've gone through bartenders, and but here we are 2 years later, and I think you'd probably agree with me. It's the best staff combined staff that we've had.
Yeah, and it's in just a positive evolution, and not that anyone that has left us couldn't have been part of that. It's just change.
Yep.
And as we continue to learn, one of the things that has become evident back in the lounge component of getting new people to come visit us, whether it's just out of curiosity, to referrals, go check out the Poppa P's down in Cool Springs, is through, I'm headed towards events. Scott does a wonderful job having at least one event a month, and our target is probably 1 3/4.
Yeah, and we've had some of your traditional events where we'll have the local rep, but we've tried to make a lot of them truly an event where it's an evening where people can leave here saying, now that was a fun night.
Right.
And really, they go back to, our initial grand opening event.
Right.
With Tim Osgener here. And, it was just an extremely fun evening for everybody. A year later, we had our 1-year anniversary where we took that grand opening to the next level. We brought in a very cool band and had Tim back, and added a couple other neat elements with it. And here we are. Probably by the time this airs, it'll be over. But for our second anniversary, we're doing it all over again.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe it's been as we started our 3rd year, and that's been it's just fascinating. From I won't say stumbling into, because they're customers, but having the Kentucky linemen, gosh,
oh yeah,
they've been here 6, 8 times,
7 times,
yeah,
and they pack the house every time. It's a great band that became a crowd favorite here, And when they play, it packs the house, and it's such a cool thing. And for me, Dell, knowing my background, this has been a neat opportunity. Even though I'm pretty much retired from music, it's a neat opportunity for me to.
Yeah.
This is, it's kind of like old times for me.
And last winter when we had 4 or 5, it was spread out over 3-4 months. The young songwriters that came in,
which is something that moving forward you're going to start seeing that again. And but even with that, I kind of got a little different twist on it that I'm looking forward to, and so that's been a neat thing. And it hasn't been just all cigar related events. We've done, I think about the night we did our Scotch event.
Oh, that was great.
And it was just fantastic. It was a ticketed event, but, we got a whole educational seminar about different scotches, and they have been cool. We've done a bunch of things like that here back in our green room, that we call it, where we record the podcast. And people have enjoyed that because it's more of a one-on-one.
Yeah, and you have 15, 10, 8.
10, 15 people.
20 in this room.
Yeah.
From the guys that come in here with the Holy Smokes, they've been a blessing, and
but we've
pun
done,
intended.
We've done events back in here that have been smaller in scale, but have been very successful, where, like you say, there's been 10, 15 people. We've done it with Leaper's Fork back here. We've done a great one with Jack Daniels and some other things. So you talk about, the group from Holy Smokes and other groups. That's been the other neat thing for me in the 2 years we've been at it. It's the great people we met and have kind of made this a place that they just love to come.
Right.
Today, the day that we're recording a few podcasts, before we had the back room here, we had a group of business people that had this back room reserved for a couple hours. And when we get done here in a half hour or so, we got to pack up real quick because we got another group.
Yeah, who knew that we'd have to reserve our own room?
Yeah, I know, coming in tonight.
That's pretty cool.
But it's been we certainly don't. We've been very blessed. It's worked very well. That doesn't mean that there hasn't been challenges along the way. Who would have thought that, we had such a great first year, and we get into year 2, all of a sudden you start having these things within the industry that all of a sudden you weren't expecting.
Right. The little
15%
tariff. That is what
on most of the product we sell on the cigar side of things. And even in the bar world and the back part of it, there nothing unique to us, but there's been a nationwide trend with liquor and spirit sales declining. Certainly didn't anticipate that.
No, it's we have to deal with it.
But you have to deal with it, and we've been very fortunate that as it all started developing, we realized, okay, well, we got to think this through. And I think one of the cool things that I love working with Dell on is, like with that, we made the determination, rather than try to fight it and cut back or do this, we decided let's move forward with this and actually invest a little money into it. So
sure.
But these are all things that, again, not unique to our industry. I'm sure that over the years with your career in commercial construction, that
things
you
evolved
run into things that well, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, 2008 to 2011, 9, 10, 11 at my former career weren't so hot. But we survived and actually came out better. And I think that generally happens. But if you keep the right attitude, and the things turn out usually for the good. You look at, I can't believe that I'm sitting here doing this podcast about cigars with my background, smoking an Opus X. Who would have thought that? Yeah. And you invite me to go to the PCA cigar event last April, and going to get to do it again here soon, and that's exciting. To then thinking of, well, wouldn't it be great if we got rid of these menus and put our menu on a TV?
Yeah.
Well, that was it was good, but we learned that that's works okay at best. So
Yeah.
probably by the time you see this episode, we're going to have a QR code.
Yeah. And again, a whole lot of this is trial and error. And a whole lot of it is listening to our staff and listening primarily to our customer
customers.
base. With the menu thing, we all thought it was a great idea. And it don't mean it was a bad idea, but now I listen to what the customers say and even our bar staff. Oh, it is kind of hard to...
Yeah. I love the fact they don't want to wait
Yeah.
for it to roll around,
So
which there's just kind of some electronic challenges there. It's either too fast or too slow. We can't do much about that. At least we don't want to.
But that's a great example of is we're constantly learning and tweaking how we do things and what we do, and I think that'll be a never-ending thing.
I think it never should end.
Yeah.
I think the willingness to make a mistake is something we all need to be willing to do in just about everything. Because if you think through it, you're gonna. If it doesn't work, you're gonna learn.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we have been able to just admit the mistakes and celebrate the successes. And I think that's in every aspect of your life.
I think we're very fortunate that the successes have outweighed
Outnumbered.
the mistakes.
Yeah.
But even the mistakes, more times than not, we were kind of able to fix them and turn it into a positive.
Sure.
And I think that's something that you should always be striving to do. And but it does. I sit here thinking 2 years, and when I say that, because it was a relatively short period of time before we opened that this all came about.
Yeah, it was about a year
Yeah.
from let's do this to opening,
Yeah.
and that's pretty fast.
Yeah.
We talked about that in one of our early episodes.
Yeah, and maybe I can send Miss Emmy some pictures, and when this episode comes out, some before and after, because I've got photos of when this was just an empty shell.
Yeah.
And, watching this whole thing.
Yeah, and then now
develop.
as we're coming into this spring of 2026, this week's consideration is that probably is going to come to fruition is to create some type of y'all make fun of me, but I call it the combo meal, but it's going to be the combo concept of on a menu of a pairing of, let's say, 5 to 10. It's not going to be 25. Here is a cigar. Here's a drink and or a cocktail that goes with it, and for that, you're going to get a discounted drink and a discounted cigar, and we are hoping that'd be just an idea that if it works, it works. If not, we'll try something else.
Yep, and I think like I say, the events we did last year, they were a blast. I mean, some that come to mind, of course, we've been very fortunate in being open 2 years, that not once but twice, our first and second year, Nick Perdomo came and did an event, and they were incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Tim has been multiple times doing events, but other ones that to me just really stood out are My Father event.
Mm-hmm.
People just really seemed to enjoy it because there was this great educational aspect to it.
Yeah, because they took, I learned a lot that evening from the My Father presentation, and the time that they put into that was very unique, and not just about My Father cigars, but mostly, but as the basis. But that was a great night, and I think about when we did the event with Lee Kennedy with Leaper's Fork,
right,
and how his story captivated our a full house that
yeah,
evening.
People, to have Lee here, kind of tell the story of Leaper's Fork, and people loved it. They like meeting the people behind the brands.
Right.
It's a very cool thing.
Well, when Danny DeFabio was here, and brand new brand, small brand, great cigars, and he told his family story, and he talked for 15, 20 minutes, and he's like, well, dang, Dell, it seems everybody was so quiet. And I was like, well, that's because you had them eating out of the palm of your hand.
You had a great story to tell.
Yeah, people were just locked in.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
so that stuff has been just great for us. And, here we are literally starting year 3. And we plan on taking all the successes we had in the first 2 years and all the things that weren't so successful,
right,
and capitalizing on them. And we think year 3 is going to be even bigger and better.
Well, it was fun about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks. Our new Placencia rep was in.
Yep.
And we sat with him for like an hour, and we have a Placencia event set up in May. And we're going to do something a little different with that one.
Yeah, and I think we can let the cat out of the bag a little bit. There may or may not be a member of the family.
Oh, that's
here.
Right. I wasn't going to say that, but you let it out of the
That's
bag.
in the works.
Yeah.
And that's also
there
in the
might
works.
be a Placencia here.
And that's also in the works. There may or may not be another My Father event with a member of the Garcia family here.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think that one's to the point where we can tell you. We don't have all the dates in front of us, but it'll be a grandson to Don Pepin Garcia, who is
That's right.
legendary. To have a member of such a legendary family here is going to be a very cool thing. So,
well, we could go. Gosh, Scott's got the calendar so it set up in a good way for most of 2026. We have a Rocky Patel event coming.
And, this is going to be very, very unique in the sense that we have Nish Patel coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say it's May.
End of May, 20-something. Yeah. We'll get that.
But Nish is Rocky's brother. He is an incredible guy and personality plus. People will love meeting him. But then on top of that, we're going to have Jacob, who is our regular Rocky Patel go-to guy.
I think Heath's coming.
In between him will be a wonderful fellow named Heath Hill will be joining us. And I think the three of them together is going to make for a very unforgettable night.
With some great cigars.
And some great cigars. So we're looking forward to that.
And trying to figure out in the best way to keep, not just because we're here in Middle Tennessee and Music City, USA, but keep the music events on a regular basis.
Yeah. And it's something that it gives people, it's a neat change of venue for music from around here, if that's kind of an okay way to put it. It just gives people a chance to, the entertainers and artists that come in, they like it because it's not your, people applaud and they listen, especially with the songwriters. A lot of places they play, and this is not to knock them, it's just very quiet. And everybody's here, they play a good song, people applaud. One of the things with that moving forward, and again, I don't have all the dates, so I'm hesitant to name the names. But we're kind of taking that later in 2026, kind of stepping that up a notch. And some of the writers that we've got coming in are not up-and-coming writers.
That's true.
So they have, they're going to be able to play a bunch of songs, and you're going to say, oh, you wrote that? Very big writers. And kind of what my plan on that, Del, is instead of it just being here's a hit songwriter and I'm going to play a bunch of songs I wrote. Going to be more of a deal where I'm going to kind of sit up there with him and kind of talk about the story behind the songs.
Sure.
Because there is one. There's, one of the writers in particular that we've got coming in. He could do a couple hours of very big hit songs that he wrote. But I think customer base and even here in Nashville, people would love to hear, where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear the story behind that song. So,
well, that the on the music theme, we're gonna make it happen. I just don't know when we're gonna tie it down. But having a little like New Orleans jazz in the corner,
yep.
That's gonna happen. I just don't know when. But in 2026 we'll make that happen. That's
well,
gonna be
and
fun.
a lot of that, like our bar staff right now, are right full of, actually one of our bartenders actually brought up that idea.
That's where it came from.
And Sacra, who's going to be a guest on our show here coming up, she has a very accomplished musician herself, very heavy metal guitar player. And it's like, I think Dell and I both, and she said, you should do like a Dixieland, like a neat little trio some night. And speak like there's another event we did that was just completely off the cuff, but she did it for us. We did a metal music night.
Yeah, we did a Metallica night.
A Metallica night.
Yeah, and we partnered with Drew Estates with the blackened cigars.
Blackened cigars.
And brought in the
blackened whiskey. And,
yeah.
But it was just a neat night.
It was really.
We did trivia, and it ended up being very cool. So I can see us doing more neat things like that. So
yeah.
A week or so ago, we did an event with a new tequila company. And it just turned out, it was neat because, we had the man behind the brand here that kind of got to tell the story of how they reinvented this brand, and people got one-on-one time, and it was very
asked
cool.
questions. And,
yep.
And as we walk through what we've done in 2 years, if if you have suggestions, we're always open. That's for sure.
Yeah, we can't do everything, but we certainly love to hear.
We're always looking for something.
Yeah, you talked to when we did the initial build out on this, and you had budgets and stuff to work with, and
pesky budgets,
this and that, and in the early stages there was always an intention to have a covering over our patio area, but when we first opened, the determination was, well, we better hold off on that, but. Within a year, we were able to do it.
Right. And I think that evolved from, it was in the original plan, and our customers. And said, hey, what if you covered that patio? And our outdoor area is awesome. And, it's a shockingly beautiful day today compared to 1 week ago.
We gone in 1 week from having a major ice storm.
I think it's 68, 70
being
degrees.
About 70 degrees.
When I got here a little while ago, there was 3 or 4 people outside.
If you don't like our weather in Tennessee,
wait
till tomorrow and it'll change.
Yeah.
But it has. It's been a fascinating 2 years, and it's never a dull moment.
Yeah, the outdoor area.
Yep.
And ideas like this, shoot them our way. But we've had customers who William bring his smoker.
Oh yeah.
And
we did that.
Wings. We've done it twice.
We done
3
that
times.
once, and everybody loved it so much. We literally set this great big smoker up out back. People gathered some lawn chairs around, and it was. Everybody loved it so much we did it a second time, and we'll do it again.
I'm partnering with our friends, an hour down that interstate at Billborn Bison. They're here about once a month.
About once a month they come out and do incredible smash burgers, and we'll be doing more of that. And we got some very cool things on the horizon that we're excited about. And
this recap has been it's kind of eye-opening, and I don't. Those of you who know me, it doesn't take much to get me energized. So it just is a new It's like, yes, it's been really good.
Well, I know I talked about it maybe in one of our other podcasts. For me, Del, the most enjoyable thing about this venture is, number one, I've mentioned it many times, I'm 62. I'll be 63 this year in 2026, and never in my wildest dreams did I think when I was 62, 63, I'd be doing this at this level. And that's been cool. The people we've met have been the most rewarding part of it. Just incredible people. But for me, on a personal level, how this kind of unintentionally developed with your involvement in this, from being, okay, you're just, one of the owners and the construction guy that helps us through all this. It's been this very neat thing how this has progressed.
Yeah.
And,
it's
I love the enjoyment you get out of this and how you've fallen into this appreciation for what cigars do for people.
And I think that's a good way to put it, what it does for people. It's beyond the cigar, and that's where the catchphrase that you came up with about our podcast is where great conversation. Great cigars meet great
Yeah. And what's been neat when I look back at 2 years, because it hasn't been all easy. There's been some head scratching and some, oh man, now what? Yeah. But what's neat is anytime something like this has come up, we don't go in this big panic attack. We work our way through it, and we say, okay, well, how do we fix this?
Yeah, or it is what it is.
It is what it is. So here's what we got to do.
Let's do our best and try again.
Yeah.
So
and that's not just the case of when things have gone wrong or something's come up. When things have gone very well, we both have a true excitement for that.
That's right.
There's been a few times we've had something going on here at the shop, and Dell's been out of town or something, and I can't help myself. I just have to send him a text or shoot him a picture. Say, hey, here's what you're missing tonight.
I know. I'll be like, oh man. And my wife makes fun of me for that because he'll send me a text and I'll look at the cameras because we are able to do that. We don't do it too much, but I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Man. It's well, I think as we've recapped what we've done, I think it's even more exciting about what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. And here's where, just down the sidewalk from our big brother, Cool Springs Wine and Spirits, and how to better utilize each other is going to be happening, and it already has happened. But improving that and making connections, and that's probably a reasonable way to remind ourselves where we are here in Cool Springs.
Yep. And we'd love to have you stop in and see us. Even after 2 years, we still rarely a week and quite often a day goes by that we don't have somebody in for the first time.
That's very important.
And we love that.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're seeing this for the first time and you say, man, I'd love to check that place out, we are at 1935 Mallory Lane, Suite 220. We are conveniently just 2 doors down from Cool Springs Wine and Spirits, and pull in the same parking lot. Just drive down the side of the building, and you'll find us. Mm-hmm. You can also find us. Keep up with all our events and stuff on our website, which is, of course, www.poppapeas.com. POPPAPS. And, of course, all the socials. We're very active on those. Mm-hmm. And Facebook, Instagram. And
the TikTok.
The TikTok now. And, of course, our YouTube channel. If you're watching this, you've already found it. But, Poppa Peas Podcast on our YouTube channel is a great place. And we sure do appreciate the likes and the shares. That helps us keep this going. So
yeah. And who knew?
Yeah.
Who knows what's in 2026 and year 3 is.
We've
given you a pretty good list.
Your response when I said, Del, we ought to start a podcast was pretty awesome. And next year when I come to you and say, hey, we're going to start a reality TV show.
Oh, yeah.
See how that
I thought you were going to say we take the podcast on the road, which we probably should.
Well, actually, we are kind of
We almost got we've got Tyler kind of committed.
Yep. And we actually probably can do that. And at some point, we're going to maybe do a couple of podcasts out in the main lounge room.
Yeah.
Where we can kind of have a studio audience.
Oh gosh, that'd be awesome. That'd be kind of fun.
Yep.
And
And
it's kind of crazy.
And also, if you do have some ideas, some feedback that you want to send our way, you can email us at podcast@poppapeas.com.
Mm-hmm.
And we look forward to, we thank you for 2 incredible years. We look forward to the 3rd.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Thank you for
great.
everything.
We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.